My dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Thomas and I'm happy to see you and I would like to welcome you in our weekly trading session. Today's topic is going to be market overview. Is my screen visible and am I audible? So please write something in the chat next to the window of our on YouTube. So, guys, it's been so last week was intense and probably was one of the best weeks in my trades, even in terms of my unrealized P&L that I have. Since I have some investments in other assets, including cryptocurrencies, of course. So for those who had invested before and who were not afraid to buy Bitcoin when it was trading around 16,000, 20,000. So as of now, we are enjoying pretty nice profits. And well, personally speaking, I don't know when I will be closing my positions on Bitcoin because it seems that given the current market sentiment, it can easily well, it can easily break above the 30,000 mark, and then it can easily march towards something towards like 40,000. I don't know. It seems like we are in the beginning of a new run, a new, I know, like a new rally. Because if we look at it from the month or sorry, weekly perspective, we are going to see a picture just like this one, right? So we saw how did it work out, right? So we had one rally and then correction, so we stayed there, and then it was like next move, and then next correction or next rebound, and then it went up, and we sort of then stayed for quite a long time since the first of or since the middle of June. I remember that day very well when everything was collapsing, like when everything collapsed like more than 10%. There was a huge crash on the Nasdaq exchange as well, and then we sort of stayed around this area for quite a long time, 20,000 ish, and then we dropped even below, even further down, and then it was 22, and then we had this rebound towards the psychological level, and now it's the biggest week for Bitcoin. So last week was the biggest one, probably in the last well, definitely I can see a candlestick of the same size maybe here. So this one was kind of big, but not as big as this one. And so probably more than 1 year ago was the similar one. So guys, how is your Bitcoin trading been going? And do you have any things or maybe stories to share? I will be very happy if you posted something in the chat, and then if you described something. All right. All right. Guys, back to our business, right? So, what are the market movers and what's moving on the market? So, I'm going to show you a few more trades that I had recently and that have closed recently, and these are all right. Here, press here, show on the chart, and voila. So last week was also the biggest week for gold in probably, well, maybe this one could somehow be compared on the 6th, so the weeks that started with the 6th of November 2022, and we are so probably 5 or 6 months after, we are like back at the same huge candlestick. So that was the huge week for gold, and so as you can see, my like this one closed. Some of my trades closed, like this trade closed with a profit here, and also there was and I also mentioned Brent, so I shorted Brent. Last week was a very well, basically, that's why I personally like Forex so much, and I like this mode of trading so much, because basically you wait for quite a long for this pattern, and then once something like some strong pattern So once you identified it and once you watch it enough closely, and then at one point of time it's going to play out the way it should, the way I predicted, and there was a huge drop. So basically, that banking crisis that started, that emerged in the United States last, so probably even like 10 days ago. That was Thursday when this, wow, it's just a recent story actually. Yeah, so Silicon Valley Bank, a very recent story, and we are already down by like 10%, $10 on Brent. So that was a huge drop. So what's going on? What's going to happen to Brent now? Well, that's a good question, and I think so. 70 might become a very strong support level for at least for a time being, and then after a while we might see. Well, I don't know. I know it's kind of difficult to tell because the OPEC plus countries they probably do not really have any intention to sort of increase the output, to increase the oil production. The daily quotas, they are going to remain the same. I don't really think anything that's going to be changing there. So it's all going to depend on the current situation with the banks. All right, so another one in the banking chain, right? So what was that? Of course, that is Credit Suisse. So another story, right? So let me tell you just a few more things, so to give you like general idea of what's going on the market. So it all started happening on the 9th of March, or probably even on Wednesday, right? Yeah, the 8th of March, right? So Silicon Valley Bank pretty much dropped almost 40% on that day, and everyone was like, what is going on? So no one really saw how big the problems were, and then it just like collapsed. So basically it lost, well, I know it's almost bankrupt now, right? So it's been saved and some money has been sent already to this bank, but pretty much generally speaking, this bank is really on the verge of bankruptcy, and there is nothing that can really save this bank. So and then what else? So Morgan Stanley dropped 15%. Like Goldman Sachs dropped something like 15% or maybe even 20%. So yeah, so it all banking industry started crashing. And then there was the First Republic Bank, FRC, and then okay, so from 140 down to $18, right? So wow, that's like 85% drop in just 1 week. So that's huge. And then the recent one is Credit Suisse, and well, basically we are trading today here at less than $1 per share. So this usually means a total collapse and a total bankruptcy of a bank. And well, as you can see, this bank, it wasn't like really like a very prosperous bank in terms of market capitalization, because for the last since like many years it has just been going down. So it probably had its peak in early 2007, and then basically even after the world financial crisis of 2008, it sort of managed to go up in price, but ever since it's been downtrending, and probably that's the end of this bank. And I know that well, I saw in the news that basically this bank is I think it was sold, or it's almost sold, like for $1 per share. So this price basically illustrates, and it's a fair price at which this bank should be traded. Right, so it all started affecting the oil market, of course, because when things go well in the economy, then the economy is booming, and companies and people, they start spending more money, they start driving their cars, and I mean, like, the economy is booming, right? The economy is uptrending. Now, when things don't go that well, everyone starts saving, right? So what you do in times of uncertainty? Well, of course, you save money, and that was the case with these with the current ongoing situation. Now, Personally speaking, I don't think that Brent is gonna drop less than $70 per barrel. Maybe it will drop down to 65, but then 65 is gonna be like definitely hold, and there is so much support at this price at the $65 mark that I don't think that Brent can even like for a short period of time can go further down. It's almost impossible. So, like generally speaking, I remain now kind of bullish, but it's difficult to catch this moment when you want to enter a trade because now we sort of broken down and it's like the fallen, it's like a fallen knife, and it's very dangerous to catch such fallen knives. All right, so next story is, so what's going to be the next story? So gold, okay, so let's look at gold. Okay, so on gold, we have reached the almost $2,000 mark, and I think gold can now go further up. It's pretty much, it's almost a guaranteed thing. Well, I don't know. I mean, it's probably gonna, yeah, like go above this. So gold is a safe haven, right? It's one of those assets that people buy during times of uncertainty. Now, what about our trading ideas? So trading idea would be to, well, I personally think that it should like maybe drop a little bit towards 1950, and from there it might go up. So I think that's my plan, that's my vision of gold. And 1, 2, 3, so almost 5, 6 big green days in a row. So that usually is followed by some reversal. All right, Euro USD monthly. All right, that's a question from our chat. So let me go ahead and analyze some Euro USD. So Euro USD, and well, when we look at it on a monthly basis, well, on the monthly basis, it's kind of difficult to say because we are like exactly in the middle of this. So there was this pretty huge drop, like probably since each candlestick here reflects 1 month of movement, we probably can see like 1.5 years, right? 1.5 years here. And now we have rebounded, and so I don't know. Let's look at what FIBA is gonna say us. So the Fibonacci levels, and all right. So here is the Fibo. All right. So 0.5, so 50% correction on the Fibo, and that's where the price would be here. So we are kind of in the middle of this corridor. So usually it's one of those things when it seems like the most difficult thing to predict, because like basically just going sideways kind of. So it's kind of hard to tell exactly where we will move, exactly where we are going to move next. So probably now with Euro USD, I would just wait. I don't know. It all seems very confusing here. So what I would do in this case, if I were in your shoes and I wanted to trade Forex, for example, I would probably just wait for these, like maybe for the price to approach this area and then kind of open a down trade from there, because it seems like, so for example, a trend line, so yeah, 1.075, and we can really reach this level, and from there we'll probably drop. So that's my vision so far, and I would just kind of like trade these like levels of support and resistance, so to say. it wouldn't be better if you start at least one forex trade with us today? Yes, sure. Let's open one of them. So let me just think which one. So see, guys, sometimes like the beauty of forex is that it's like maybe it's like, you know, I can really compare it to a Tarantino movie, right? So for a long time nothing happens, and it's all kind of like this real interesting dialogue, and then bam bam we have some short but really memorable action scene. So probably forex is something like this. Nothing really happens for a while, and you sort of start become a little bit like unfocused and a little bit lazy maybe, and then all of a sudden things just start like getting violent on the market. That's pretty much how you make money on forex, right? But yeah, I mean, trying to open some trade. Let's try. Why not? So guys, once again, the beauty of forex is that we don't need to have too many open trade, or I mean, like, we don't need to have even 60 or 70% winning trades in order to be profitable. All we need to do with forex is we need to have something like 30 or 40% winning trades, and that's the break-even point. If you have more, then you're just gonna have some real nice profits. Okay, so I'm trying to find something here. AUD-USD. So yes, I think I have found my first candidate. So that can be a nice trade here. So let's see. The trend line here, AUD-USD. So the Australian dollar against the United States dollar, and basically this was the previous downtrend, and as you can see, we have broken above this trend line, this resistance level, and currently we are trading here, so we can easily go up from here, and so that's probably going to be my first trade here. Okay, so I'm going to use $1,000 with a multiplier of 100, not a very big one, and I can see that if the price reaches this level, then I'm going to make plus 140% off of my investment. So something like this. Wait. Okay, so have exceeded the maximum amount of open trades. Okay, why is it like that? All right, guys. Should I check my limits or something? Well, I don't know. For some reason, I cannot open a trade on AUD-USD, but anyways. So since I'm doing mostly analysis here, I would open a trade up here. So that's a signal here to open up trade. Right. A question from Michael. Thomas, kindly do Asian Composite Index analysis. I feel like it is dropping as it had broke 61.8 Fibo on the daily chart early morning. Kindly correct me if I'm wrong. All right. So let's open Asia Composite Index. And let's use the daily time frame. So daily time frame here. Wow. So it's difficult to have, but yeah, let's use some Fibo here. So what do we do here? We go to start typing Fibo, Fibonacci levels. All right, and something like this. And then we extend it into the future. So yes, you're correct. 0.5 level, I think you mentioned 61.8. So I think we haven't really come close to the 61.8. Now, the question is this. So why and how did I draw these the Fibo levels like this, the way I did? Well, the answer is simple. First, we can see that currently we are downtrading, and we have been downtrading for the past 7 days. And before that, there was an uptrend, right? So usually Fibonacci levels, the Fibonacci levels can be used when you have a really strong and really easily like visible trend, like this one, like an uptrend here, and then it reverses. So after it has reversed, we have a downtrend, and now we have a local minimum and a local maximum. Okay, so here that is the local maximum, and this is the local minimum. And all you need to do is you need to connect them, and then you sort of want to extend it into the future, the way I did with the Fibo. So I sort of connected this dot, and then I start like bam, 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 and I extend it into the future, right? So that's it, and yeah, and we can see that currently we are trading at 0.5, so I think maybe even now it's possible to open an up trade. Okay, so for some reason I can't open the trade. Yeah, I'm gonna check that later. It's something strange. Yeah, I think there is some release or something. Yeah, guys, I don't know. It just seems a little bit something is a little bit wrong today. Well, anyways, so that's my view on Asia Composite Index, and yeah, so starting point, end point, and then trend reversal, and from here it's possible to open an up trade. So what is the best time for trading? Well, the best time for trading, well, first of all, it depends which what exactly you want to trade. So for example, if you want to trade Forex, that's one thing. If you want to trade FTT, that's another thing. When it comes to FTT mode of trading, pretty much anything between 8 a.m. GMT, or probably, yeah, like 8 a.m. GMT, and between 11 p.m. GMT, you can just trade pretty much at during any time, because, well, basically like everything is moving, and you have volatility, you have pretty much everything. And so yeah, that's a very good thing about FTT mode of trading, that you can pretty much trade anywhere and anytime, and it just basically all the time there is something, right? You don't really need to have like quick big moves. Like you don't really need to wait for like something like this. With Brent, for example, with Forex, you really need to have trend, like strong trend moves. With FTT, you just open trades and open trades, close trades, and everything just pretty much works. You are not really dependent on this kind of thing when you have a trend or you don't have a trend. So there is a trend, there is no trend. So that's another thing, right? So that's the beauty of FTT mode of trading, because for example, if I see some maybe I see a move like this, right? I see like some corridor, and I can trade even within this corridor, within this narrow range, because I don't really need like big moves, big change in price. So everything that is necessary, it's already there. So the trend is here, the upper border, the lower border, and that's it. But in case of Forex, I need to have those moves. So when it comes to Forex, it is very much important to have to really have some movements. Okay, so without those price moves, not much can be done. So you can have the perfect setup, the perfect signal, but if there is no movement, then pretty much it's not really going to be of any kind of use for you, because in this sense you're just not going to make any money at all. Okay, so because the charts are not moving. Right, guys. I will probably cover one more topic for today's webinar, and the story is this. It's the economic calendar, and so just a brief look at the calendar. And so today we don't really have many economic releases, except for Christine Lagarde, which is the ECB, the European Central Bank president. So she has a speech in 32 minutes, and that speech is going to pretty much tell us what's going on in the European economy and about their further maybe interest rate policies, and also the European economy is also affected by things that are affecting the American economy as well, because everything is like interconnected. And we also have Credit Suisse, one of the, even though Switzerland is not part of Europe, but still that's important. All right, so on Tuesday we have something like, core CPI inflation in Canada. So that is going to affect and have significant impact on the Canadian dollar, and there might be some real nice trades there. Next, we have on Wednesday, we have the same story, but with yearly inflation in the United Kingdom, and that's going to affect the pound. And look, 9.9%. It's a pretty huge, probably the highest inflation recorded in the UK in the last 4 years or something. Then, of course, Fed interest rate decision is going to be a very significant thing, because, well, 5% is big and 5% is high, and who knows what's going to happen next, because now if you want to take a housing loan in the United States, that's going to be higher than in Europe and than in many developing nations. So that's a big challenge for the Fed Reserve to actually fight this the current level of inflation. And yeah, so 5%, I don't know what they're gonna do. Thursday, yes, Bank of England interest rate decision again. So a huge opportunity of making quick profits and on Forex or FTT. So very significant. So this news is going to have a very significant impact on the market. And on Friday, probably the most important one is this pack of news from the United Kingdom again. So that is going to be important and will have a significant impact on the market and on the Great Britain pound and all the currencies that have the Great Britain pound in it. All right. Can you tell a plan for multiplying a small capital? Well, guys, I would like to remind you one of my phrases, one of the expressions that I just recently been sort of like repeating over and over again. So having a lot of money in your account doesn't make you a profitable trader, a successful trader. It only makes you a trader with a lot of money in your account. Now, being a successful trader means that you can actually grow your capital and you can turn your capital into big volumes. So first of all, you need to know how to make profits even with small amounts of capital in your account. So it doesn't matter. I have $77 or close to $78,000 just in this account. Well, that was partially due to my last week's profits. So those last week's profits were huge. Before that, I also had a pretty red sequence here. I think I had so many losses in a row, even big losses, $2,000. Yes, I admit it. Like sometimes you have really like red street or you have like green street, so green lights, and then it's like red. So it goes like it. You can never be a pretty much like like profitable trader all the time. It just doesn't work like that. So you make mistakes, but your mistakes and your trading mistakes should be controlled, right? You cannot let big losses, destroy your trading account. So that was it. So I had losses, and then I finally sort of synchronized with the market. I managed to catch the prevailing trend, and then I was like profit, one losing trade, and then I had like huge profits. Like basically I profited a lot on Brent, on Bitcoin, so all these assets that I keep mentioning all the time. So I had a few losing trades on Apple, and I had a trade on gold, a profitable one, and I still have 2 open trades. So one short sell position on Apple. I don't know how it's gonna play out. Probably I'm gonna lose on that. I don't know. I don't really care. It's a relatively small one, and one with gold that is definitely going to close with profits. It's just I haven't really decided when I would close it. So the plan is really simple. You need to learn how to trade, how to become profitable with small amounts in your deposit, and then gradually you increase. So step number 1 is to actually learn how to trade with small amounts of money in your account, and then little by little you need to grow your account, and you can actually add money to your account. So that's it's that simple. Okay, so there is nothing difficult in it. All right, guys. Now, one final question. So, I mean, it all comes down to learning how to trade with small capital, and then once you've mastered your trading skills, you can easily increase and go to trading big capital. All right. So, guys, let's move next. The final question would be to analyze commodity composite index. So let me go ahead and do that for you. So what do I see here? So I go to 1 day time frame, and okay, so once again we are downtrending, and when are we going to find a significant level of support? Well, 6,500, so 6,500 is of course a strong psychological level since it's a round number, and I think we are going to have a support level from here. So my view on this is yes, I think the time has come for a reversal. Plus, I start to see some form of a doji, because like going down, and then we have this big wick or big shadow pointing downwards. So that is a sign of reversal. All right. So probably that's going to be a reversal now, and we can easily go all the way up to 6,540 at least. Okay. All right, guys, I think that is going to be it for today. Please don't forget that I have another trading session on Wednesday, so you can come and join that trading session, and we are going to trade together and learn and analyze together. So that's gonna be it for today. Thank you very much for your attention. Thanks for watching this webinar. I hope your trading improves. I hope you get nice profits, and I will see you on Wednesday. Thank you guys, and see you soon. Bye bye.